Let me say this up front. Hollywood doesn't understand genre fiction, by which I mean sci-fi, fantasy, etc. The reason is they don't understand fans, fandoms, fan bases, whatever you want to call them. More attempts at franchises fail than succeed, and even successful ones can end up angering fans and losing billions. And what does any of this have to do with Christmas? Well, okay, follow me. To succeed, a franchise needs fans, and a fan base can be classed as a modern mythology. And if you look at the way ancient myth cultures used to behave, you will see the exact same behaviour in modern fans. The word fan comes from fanaticus, meaning to belong to the temple of. And you know, when you see ancient carvings of Greek or Norse gods, you're seeing fan art. It's exactly the same as we have today. Egyptian families, well, they used to bury stories of the underworld with their deceased loved ones to help them find their way in the underworld. And they would call this a Book of the Dead, which contained their own stories, their own family stories about the underworld, aka fan fiction. You see, a mythology is cultural. Every member of the culture gets to take part, telling their own tale within that mythology, making up new stories of the gods and telling them by the campfire. No one owns the copyright to Zeus. And that's why fans make fan fiction. That's why they do cosplay. That's why they do original fan art. This is 50,000 years of cultural human conditioning. And Hollywood doesn't understand that. And so they try to copyright everything and control the narrative and treat decades-old franchises as nothing more than content that they have all legal rights to, despite fans having decades-long senses of belonging to that story. You can see why Hollywood treats some fans as difficult. The truth is, a fan base is a myth culture, and Hollywood doesn't understand those. Except Christmas. Now think about it. Christmas is a modern myth that Hollywood has actually accepted as such. Christmas has culturally accepted characters, and it has a background mythos of accepted elements. But within that framework, as long as you play within that parameter, you can tell any story. Anyone can. And that is why pretty much anything can be considered a Christmas movie. Maybe it has Santa, and maybe he's old or young or short or tall. Maybe he isn't there at all. Maybe he doesn't exist. Maybe it has an elf. Maybe you know it's Santa, maybe not. Maybe, most likely, it's a cheesy romance that happens to be set around Christmas time. We all know who we're talking about there. Maybe it just has snow in it. Literally, that's it. Anything that happens during the Christmas period or in relation to any accepted element of Christmas can be classed as a Christmas movie, which absolutely, emphatically includes Die Hard. Because we've all accepted that Christmas is a mythos, it's a genre. We can all tell our own story within that genre, and it just adds to the mythology, not in a linear way, like we have to be telling the next chapter with everything that comes out, and someone's going to be checking for continuity errors, which shuts more and more people out over time, as you have to have seen every chapter in a franchise to know what's going to happen or what's going on, or to even understand the terms of the next one. Without knowing it, Hollywood changed the game with Die Hard, and they still haven't noticed. Imagine treating other intellectual properties like the Christmas mythos would not only free up massive storytelling opportunities and do away with continuity problems, but if those studio lawyers were brave enough, it could allow fans to interact with the stories and even add to them legally. Imagine if that actually existed. A sort of open source storytelling project. Well, it does. I've spent 30 years developing just such a franchise, just such a project, and in January 2023 I launched the first film. The project is called Ex Uno, and you can help make it happen by clicking like, subbing to this channel so you can support it and be a part of it. Now, if you can't wait for a sneak peek, the website, Insta, and Facebook are all linked below, but I look forward to welcoming you on board. Thanks for listening.